Hey, welcome back, folks. I am glad you could make it. Lovely day today. Well, every day with horses is a good day, in my opinion. But I want to talk about something that it seems to be something that everybody has a problem with. I don't know, it's just a real tough concept. But just before I get into that, I'm going to give you a handy little tip. There's this funny thing on my head. Well, it's a light. And doesn't use a whole lot of power. It's an LED, so the batteries actually last a fair while. But this one, the early ones were actually not very bright. This one's actually pretty darn bright. And personally, I use it mostly for hoof trimming. It's real handy for that because it's, even if you got good lighting, it's hard to see down on the hooves and when you're trimming. So, real handy for that. Other things you can use it for is if you're, checking out wounds on the horse. You want to check their teeth. You want to check the horse over for ticks. I don't know how many times I have seen people using their cell phone as a flashlight. Well, even if you use a regular one, which I do always carry a flashlight in my pocket too, it's, this one not near as bright. I think the batteries are a little tired in this one. Whatever. It's also kind of cold too. But, you always got one hand holding the flashlight and you only got one hand to work with. And, well, using one of these things frees up both hands. So, it's just something, anytime you got to work somewhere that has limited lighting and you're working on something, whether you want to check their teeth or look in the eyes or look in the ears or anything you want to do, you got the light pointing directly wherever you're looking. Real handy thing. And, if you're doing home repairs or working on your car or anything like that, they're great for that too. But I don't use this one for that kind of stuff much, but I sure do like having it handy for the horses. Boy, I tell you, sure frees up having two hands. Trying to hold a flashlight in one hand while you're trying to do something else with the other hand that really should be done with two hands. No. Anyhow, so that's my tip of the day. Buy one of these things. They're not that expensive. I don't know. This one was actually given to me as a gift several years ago. I had one before that I bought. It wasn't near as good as this one. And I don't even remember what I paid for that one because so long ago. Yes, sir. Nice horse. He really likes to be the center of attention around here. Nice guy, though. Very social. And, he's actually part of what I want to talk about. Because I want to talk about taking your time, because that's a thing that, people really have a hard time with. And, as soon as they get a horse, or even if they've had it for a while, they're always in such a dang hurry to ride the thing. I did a video a long time ago. I said the number one mistake that we make is getting in a hurry. Excuse me, sir. Number one mistake, biggest mistake, number one mistake. Getting in a hurry. And if you get in too big of a hurry to get in the saddle, well, bad things can happen and you end up with a mediocre horse at best. And, not just riding though, but everything in general. But we'll talk about riding for a minute with this one because, I actually bought him a couple of years ago now. I wasn't planning on keeping them all that long. I was just going to have them for the summer, train them up, and sell them the following spring. I wasn't going to do anything during the winter because winter's pretty harsh here. So I wasn't planning on doing anything. But the following spring, we no sooner started riding him, we discovered he had a crack in his hoof. So, there goes the whole summer waiting for that hoof to grow out, which actually didn't seem to be bothering them one little bit, but we just like to err on the side of caution, and we don't want to hurt our friends. So we didn't ride them, and just recently we have started getting on them again, but already it's winter. So, yeah. What should have taken a matter of a few months, we've taken, we aren't even done yet, so it's probably going to be a couple of years before we're done. Well, that's okay. Takes that long, it takes that long. That's kind of one of those things is people seem to put time limits on things, put a time frame on something. It should be done in a certain length of time. And if it takes a little bit longer, they get upset about it. And, they're always in a hurry to go ride. And, I'm here to say there's a whole lot more to horses than just riding, a lot more. And the more I get to know them, the less I care if I ride. I've got a couple saddles sitting in the tack room collecting dust right now. And one of them I could have on him right now, but I don't. Well, maybe I will when I'm done this. Who knows? Might think about it. But also I want to talk about another horse. If you've watched some of my recent videos, you've seen that rather nervous horse I've been working with. And boy, I'll tell you, what you see on camera is nothing compared to what she is off camera, man. She is just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. On a good day, though, she can just be an absolute angel, especially if there's other horses around. But you get her by herself, boy, and she can come unglued something horrible, that downright dangerous. And I've been working on that. And, well, just the other day, actually just yesterday, in fact, we had quite the breakthrough with that horse. We had her in here all by herself, took the lead off. And we even did some free lunging with her and all kinds of stuff. And the whole time she was in here, she didn't call for the other horses. She didn't look at the door. She didn't try to go to the door. She didn't run around in a panic. She was focused on me the whole time. That was a big deal for me because we've been working towards that for over a month now, I think, with that one, or close to it. Oh, probably at least a month. I don't know. I don't keep track of these things all that well. But the fact is that, with a normal horse, that a younger one that isn't all messed up to begin with, something like that would probably only take a few hours. We took over a month. A lot of people wouldn't have the patience for that. And they'd say, man, that horse has put people on the ground because they wanted to go riding instead of doing the stuff on the ground that needed to be done with her. I do believe, I happen to know a little bit more about her past, and the groundwork wasn't quite as extensive as I was led to believe. It certainly wasn't like what I do, and that's part of the problem, and that's what led to people hitting the dirt. And well, that's what happens if you get in a hurry. Somebody gets hurt. Not worth it. Take your time. If it takes you a month to do something that should be done with another horse in a couple hours, don't worry about it. Take a month, and if it takes you a couple of years to accomplish what should be done in a few months, well, don't worry about it. He's not going anywhere, and depending on how long he lives, we're still going to have lots of time, and it's not like we aren't busy doing other things anyhow, and we don't really absolutely have to have a horse these days. We've got nice paved roads we can drive on. We've got cars to take us where we got to go. We've got a nice transportation infrastructure that we can use anytime we need. And I'm not a rancher, so I don't need a horse to round up my cattle, things like that. So, we don't really need to ride. We don't have to. It's not essential. So if I have to put it off for a while, it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm not busy doing other things. It would be, if I was to ride, it would be entirely for pleasure. Well, hopefully everybody rides for pleasure. Just being with horses is a pleasure for me. I don't even have to ride. But anyhow, that's kind of my message for today. Is just take your time. Don't get in a hurry. If you get in a hurry, well, I've said before, nothing takes longer than getting in a hurry. Because if you mess things up, you're going to have to go back and then, well, like that one I'm working with, she's 21 years old, and it just took me over a month to do what should have taken probably only a few hours. And why? Well, because somebody got in a hurry. So it ends up taking a whole lot longer. And there's a perfect example right there. Over a month to do what should have been done in a couple hours. Why? Because somebody got in a hurry. Best explanation I got, well, her personality factors into it a lot, but still, if you take your time, do things right, the end result, a lot better, a lot safer. And if somebody says, boy, you got a lot of patience, say, no, I'm doing it because I don't have patience. I don't have patience to put up with problems. I don't have the patience to fix it later on when it's going to take me months instead of hours. No, I don't have patience. I'm going to take my time anyhow. I hope you do too. Have a good day.